Friday morning, mid-May. It's about 13 degrees, quite still, but a bit overcast as you can see. It feels quite cool out actually. I've headed out from Leeds to the A1, heading out on a little adventure today. I'm heading to a place called Potteric Carr. It's a Yorkshire Wildlife Trust Nature Reserve that I've never been to, and it's not far really. I mean, from here it's saying it's only 24 miles and takes 24 minutes. Unfortunately that's not true, because that route would be down the A1, and as I found out last week, I think it was last week, when I went to Sherwood Forest, there are some roadworks that have been there for ages at a place called Darrington on the A1, where they're repairing a road bridge that crosses a steep and deep valley, which also has a Yorkshire Wildlife Trust Nature Reserve in it. Brockdale, I think it's called. So I looked on the highways website, and I think those roadworks, they're due to finish this summer, but it can take anything from like 10 minutes to 40 minutes to get through them. And it was horrendous the day that I went. So there are three ways, I think. So the reason why I haven't been before is I just find Doncaster. Did I say it's at Doncaster? I just find Doncaster quite tricky to get to, and it always seems to take a lot longer than you planned. So there are three ways. I'm on the A1 now, heading south. It'll take me to that there London in about 3 or 4 hours time. So you can go this way. This is the way that it's saying is 22 minutes, 22 miles. That's not true. Not true at all. You can go this way and then go through Doncaster, which I'm not sure why you would, because Potteric Carr's at the other side of Doncaster, so you can get to it via motorways around the outside. But going through Doncaster, as I once discovered, when I was trying to find a dog rescue place, it's just awful. It takes ages to get through. From Doncaster, tell me I'm wrong, but my only experiences ever of driving through Doncaster have been just dreadful. And there's another way, which is to go east on the M62, as if you're going to Hull, and then there's a motorway, and I can't remember what it is, whether it's the M18 or the M180, something like that. We'll find out when we get there. You pick up that, and that heads towards Doncaster. Just crossing the River Aire now, and it takes you there in the same time as this, so in about 25 minutes. The difference is it's 12 miles longer. Well, but hopefully, all things being equal, it'll get me there without the frustration of sat in traffic and tailgated by trucks like I was last week through the 40-mile-an-hour speed restrictions. So M62, Hull and Manchester, that's the way we're going. We're just passing what still is Ferrybridge Power Station on the left. It was a huge place with lots of cooling towers. They've all gone now. I think it still might be a power station. go M62 West here, or M62 East. We're going to go M62 East. I did try making a video of my journey to Sherwood Forest, but it all went horribly wrong because there was one truck in particular in the and I have to say 99% of lorry drivers I come across on the road are first-rate professional drivers, but there are some whose egos are bigger than their trucks, and this fella, I mean, without any exaggeration, he must have been 6 inches off my back bumper doing 40 miles an hour, and it was the average speed area, so I was doing where it takes your speed as you go in and the speed when you go out, and you have to do 40 miles an hour through the whole area, and so I was doing 40 miles an hour, and he obviously didn't think that I was going fast enough, so I was encouraging me to go faster by driving about, as I say, 6 inches or so off my back bumper, and it shook me up a little bit, so and then he overtook me, and again he missed my rear bumper as he overtook me by inches, and then just to prove how incredibly tough he was, he slammed his brakes on it as he pulled back in front of me. So I gave up on the idea of videoing. But hopefully this should be okay. So we've driven along this motorway coming from Gilsum, roughly as far as as far as there, because we came down here and came off at Ferry Bridge, so we're going to just tick off a little bit more of the M62 today, from Ferry Bridge going east as far as the turn off to the motorway. I can't remember its designation. So this way, the sat-nav's changed now. It was down to something like 21 miles, 21 minutes going south on the A1, but we know that wasn't true, because you could add at least 10 minutes for the roadworks, if not more. So it would have been at least 35 minutes. So going this way, it's telling me 27 miles, 27 minutes. So at the moment, it seems like this way is quicker, but the mileage is longer. It's telling me I turn off in 2.8 miles, so maybe that's where the motorway. About Potteric Carr, except that it's like a wetland area. I don't know if it's old gravel pits or old quarries or what. It's on the edge of Doncaster, on the southern edge, and it's pretty much surrounded, I think, by railways and motorways. But from what I've read, it looks a beautiful place. It's not too big. It says they've got about 5 kilometres, I think, of footpaths. So I do like my walks on a Friday. It's Mondays and Fridays, and then of course the other days, but particularly Mondays and Fridays. I always find Fridays a little bit quieter. Is the A19 to Doncaster, so we don't want that, because that would take us through Doncaster, which isn't the plan. So it's 24 miles going that way. It's saying to turn off, so that must be the motorway by this time. Two police cars came on the slip road at, I think it was at the A19, and then there was another one parked further up, and the two that were in the road stopped. Maybe they're doing some sort of training exercise, who knows? It's nothing to do with me, is it? Yeah, so what I'm finding glancing at my sat nav is we're not actually getting any closer here. we've gone 27 miles, 25, 24, 22, it went back up. It's entering the county of East Yorkshire. West Yorkshire that we were in back there, so it was West Yorkshire Police, and I think out here it would be Humberside Police or Humberside, I think they say. Have a bit of trouble pronouncing their eyes. I think I mentioned it in the last video we did on the M62. It doesn't go all the way to Hull, doesn't this motorway? You hear a lot about the north-south divide, and I think Hull is it the fourth busiest port, or it used to be? But the sort of Humberside region, I think, with the other side of the river, is easily one of the busiest ports in the country, and the road network and the rail network isn't that brilliant. And as I say, this motorway stops about 20 miles, 15 miles short of Hull. So it's the M18, the motorway I couldn't remember. It goes to Scunthorpe, apparently, one way, and Doncaster the other. So let's hope I get on the right bit of it. Sound of me concentrating. I've not been this way before. miles to Doncaster, 28 to Rotherham, and then 22 on the M180 to Scunthorpe. So I think this actually goes all the way to the M1 at Sheffield. So the road connections are pretty good actually, but I just don't know why. And if you know, let me know in the comments, why didn't the M62, when it was built, go all the way to Hull? I've never really understood why it didn't. bright road surface. So the motorway seems to split here. Comes the M180 on the left, takes you to Scunthorpe and Grimsby, and then we carry on south towards Doncaster. Side of Doncaster now, so it's if you are heading south on the A1 and you really don't have a chance being stuck in Roadworks for 40 minutes, it's a bit of a loop round is this, but it's an alternative. We'll come off this just before the junction, just before the A1, and head back in towards Doncaster for a little way to Potteric Carr. But if we just carried on, we'd come to the A1 and carry on going A1 south, so it's an alternative, and it probably add about 10 miles to your journey. Though. loaded. Bulgaria. Or there's something wrong with its right hand axle. So it definitely had a bit of a lean to it. Skies and sunshine. Welcome to South Yorkshire. For Robin Hood and iPort, leave at junction 3. I think that's where we leave also. I don't know if Robin Hood Airport is still open, is it? It closed. There was some talk of it reopening. Back onto transport, aren't we? East of England in the north does need a big airport. Manchester's such a trek. Says come off in 0.6 of a mile, and that says there's a turning in half a mile, so I'm guessing that's my turning. And this is quite aptly called Mallard Way, seeing as we're going to a nature reserve. Folks, wow, that was easy. That was so easy. I haven't been here because I've always had to come along the A1 to get here. But now I know I don't have to come along the A1 to get here. I'll be here more often. Hope you enjoyed this driving video, everybody. It's a while since I've done one. I'm going to head off into the reserve now and see what awaits me there. But if you've any comments or about this video, then leave them below and I'll try and get back to you. But for now, I'll say cheerio.